Hey guys, Ace here with another video, and today we are back with some more Warframe, but not with the regular stuff that we have going on. No, today we are back with the fine, small bits of what Warframe is about. The amount of customizability there is. That's right, we're going into depths with the things that make Warframe your very own. So first up, we're going through the basic menu of everything. So through the arsenal, you can see that there are various weapons you will get throughout your playthrough that you can customize your play experience a tad bit better. Because of how the modding system is with Warframe, any weapon, gun, melee, or throwing object, hell, even just your Warframes themselves, everything has that customizability within customizability, meaning you can make anything as strong as your heart desires, as long as you are so ready for it. There is your primary, secondary, tertiary, accents, emissive, you have 2 of those by the way, and energy colors. Now that is just about on everything, but only certain items, like Warframes for example, have 2 emissive colors. So first you want to go to your attachments, and if you don't have any, don't worry about it. You will be able to unlock some throughout the game. Everything in this game is free with the right effort. So going back to the mods, as I said previously, everything and anything can be strong no matter what it is, as long as you know what things to go about. You do have a limit, as you have seen there. So keep your eyes peeled for anything that might cause a bit of interference. Try to look at your mods closely. See for yourself within actually testing what they really mean, and really consider it. Your Parazon is something that's essential but non-essential at the same time, but it is also customizable just like the rest. Next, while we're here, you can have various companions throughout your game. The one you get for starters is Taxon, but for this, we shall be using the Worm. So, once again, they have their own set of attachments. However, these are a little bit harder to get your hands on. The sheer ability of they just are. There's no actual definition behind that. So, how do you get the colors? You can just do it manually, or if you have colors on your main Warframe that you like, you can just hit copy main colors. And there you are. Of course, I'm an idiot, and those were the attachments themselves, so they were copying the actual Sentinel themselves. However, if you wanted to have your Sentinel copy your actual Warframe, copy Warframe colors will be your option, and this is your most likely result. Once again, copy main colors, because I'm not too concerned about the coloring for this time. We will go Diamond Sentinel wings, and minus the thorax. Past that, I'd say our customizability is complete. So one other thing that's not as important for your customizability is your gear and your emotes. For your gear, there are certain things that you will again unlock throughout the game that you will be able to put within these original little slots. Now, there will be some things you will get throughout the time that you won't even really need if you have other things necessarily. There's the Nozam cutter, and then the Sunpoint plasma drill, for example. The Sunpoint Plasma Drill does everything that the Nosem Cutter does, but far more accurate at it. Now let's look at emotes. Once again, this is something that you can get really, really customized with. Depends whatever you like. You can offer people handshakes. If they have the same emote, they can give you the same. You can do little dances. Don't mind the fact that this is good for content. You can do a little, well, I guess this is also a dance. Okay.
She possesses the yams.
Sorry. Some of you did not need to see that. That's definitely not the reason that we come to play Warframe. Moving on to what the game likes to call your vehicle section. So here we have your Archwing. Again, various ones you'll unlock throughout the game, but the Odonata is the one they practically give you. K-Drives. These you tend to have to build yourselves, which is why I don't have one yet. I haven't gotten the chance to get the resources to build such. Okay, so little simple disclaimer. So I failed to mention how the K-Drives are what the game likes to call their version of a hoverboard, or rather the idea of what a hoverboard should look like. So that's one thing I failed to mention about them. So let me save you the trouble of skipping through all that nonsense and say that K-Drives in a way do have their own customizability. You can get them the same way that you can get a lot of other things. There are these special weapons like Zaws. There are these special things called amps for your operator. Don't worry, you'll see that later on in the game, roughly. Those are somewhat customizable because there are things you can buy at different, shall we say, planets. Like there's different shops at planets that have what the game likes to call modular parts to build these items. These items are strictly in themselves both challenging and easy to achieve, so you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, the K-Drive is one thing for me. I've personally found it to be challenging, but it might not be for other people. Again, the game can be customized to experience, and that is fine. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up that little tidbit. They are supposed to be basically just as customizable as everything else is. That's the point I'm trying to make, and moving on. Up next we have one of my favorite pieces of the game, the Necromechs. Now, these, just like your Warframes, in fact, they work like your Warframes, and so do the Archwing. But what you can do here is your appearance. This is what your standard Bone Widow actually would typically look like, minus obviously the coloring. And then here's with completely brunt sparred out. Hold on. Okay, now, pardon me. There's what your Bone Widow would typically look like, minus the coloring. And here's what you can get with different skins. This just shows you that the right skin, attachment, or so on and so forth can make your Warframe Necromech or Odonata look quite a bit different. That is all for that section of the little, what I like to call, tutorial. Oh, I almost forgot. You can switch out between a companion, which is typically a Kubro or Kavat, otherwise known as a dog or a cat, or a sentinel, as we have just seen, which is your flying little friend. Now, this isn't a tutorial of how they work, so I'm not going to get too in-depth into that. All I can say is, one is better than the other for your playstyle. Next up is your railjack. So, you can board your railjack right from your menu. However, to do this, you must have a railjack to begin with.
Orgone accumulator has been sealed. They can be reached at safe levels.
Now, as you can see, you wouldn't think that this is a standard worker, and you'd be right. Allow me to show you more. So to typically see your railjack, you would have to go to your clan. If you do not have a clan, it is okay. There are always people looking for more people to join their clans, and join their alliances. And you can even start up your own clan if you want to go through the grindy work. Just make sure you keep your reactors, your power for the place, and everything else completely separate. So as you can see, your railjack tends to have some of the most customizability. And that's why it's the fun part. So, once again, about the same experience. Each of these has its own fun, unique little segments, and one can be better than another. Don't worry, these can be unlocked through doing various railjack missions. Oh, look at that, I have gotten a new reactor as well. And as you can see, there's a big difference between having everything in your railjack. Again, it's also just about what you desire to have upon your railjack. Your railjack works like everything else, you know, your Warframes, your Archwing, and your mechs, where they have their own little set of mods. And again, you can customize them just about almost any way you wish, as long as you got the mod space for it. Now, how you tell your mod space? As I'm sure you might have noticed already, there's a point where you can run out of your mod capacity. That gets to be a pain. Customizability for railjacks goes beyond even the norm. And it's a good thing we're here because we actually have Nginx available. This means you can go basically essentially hog wild into this whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple into tactical, put a couple into gunnery, and see, look at that, we only have 5 Nginx available. Everything seems like it's just about evened out at 4 now. Perfectly balanced, just the way I intended it to. Sorry, that was a dumb joke on my point. Your crew is another thing that is good to get into. So, you can typically give your crew their own set of training, or what I like to call their version of giving them mods. So they do different things differently. For example, she's built to just survive while she fixes the ship. He's built essentially to kill, at least whatever boards the ship. I won't have to worry about piloting because I always handle that. Now here's where the real customizability of your railjack starts. You can give it its name, in my case, the whole ripping locker. You can give it its own glyph that displays on the side, you can represent, and you can give it its fun individual skins. Now, I'm keeping the Tempestar one I like the most. Also, just like your Warframes, you can customize the overall color of it, as well as the text color itself. So, remember me talking about clans earlier? Yeah, you can have a lot of fun here. Depending how much power you have, you can customize everything here. Between decorating the actual place, this will give you plenty of options to decorate with. Just be ready to pay a hefty fine to actually build the thing. I will show you an example right now. So we're going to go ahead and build this autumn tree right here, because why the hell not? So you can rotate it, push and pull, and of course, what would be the fun of not scaling it up? So as you can see, for some reason, now we have a big ass tree where it honestly doesn't belong. Now, did you put it in the wrong spot? No worries. You can move the decoration at any time, even if it's not built. Just know this is going to bother me right now. There we go. That's a little bit better. Just give it a rotation, and it's perfect. Now, it'll look like this consistently until you build it. So, how do you build it? You contribute things, of course. And just like that, now this will be done in a day. So that's literally 24 hours from now, by the way. So once again, depending how much power you have, by the way, I designed all of this. He put the Ascension Altar up here. I just put these bells. And by he, I'm talking about my clan leader. I also made this little chill out area. And this is where the game starts to have its own little customized feeling. You can make this your little stagnant pose if you wish. But once again, the room options are better explained when you have more power. You can decorate it. If you had architect in this case, you can rename the... What happened here is you could preview decorations. So what this does is it makes it so anything you have currently building, at least in one area. Here, best to show it off here. So you see how that tree is? It's all blue. Because I want to show you this. Preview decorations. And now you completely see it as it is. Nice, huh? Once again, coming down to the sheer customization of everything. You typically have a rinky-dinky little room to start out in, but this handy-dandy little pad here makes it so you don't have to, and you can start in any room you please. Now, this showroom is meant to show just how much customization can go into a game. So the clan colors are always going to be the same, but you can put little statuettes down. This is within the decorations themselves. You can also get little decorations throughout the game. Now, what's cool about these ones in particular, not those two, these ones in particular, these can either be extracted for endo, which is a pretty valuable resource in the game to up your mods, or they can be put out for cute little decorations like this. Now, some things, like all of this, isn't unlockable until you do a certain point throughout the game. So, keep your eyes open. These are unlockable throughout doing little missions and side quests here and there through different places that are more open world based. So again, keep your eyes open. So over here we have an example of just one of the little cute nifty little things you can do with your customization. Presenting Tenno's Got Talent. I said presenting Tenno's Got Talent. Thank you. There you go, Hildren. Dance it up. So that is going to be all for your dojo. Next on our list, we're actually going to be going somewhere pretty local. This is unlockable after what I believe is the New War, or somewhere on that list. Call himself that you get to play as. He is customizable. You can give him his own helmet, any kind of like eyepiece. You can customize him the same way as a certain somebody we're gonna see throughout the game later. He also has his own set of materials that you can give their own different colors and attributes too. So again, keep a lookout for that. I gotta fix the attachments later, but anyway, that's the point. Okay, so I bet you've been wondering a little bit of what's down here since you saw the stairs. I'm glad you asked. In here is basically the same way that the clan works, where you have customization out the wazoo. So you can have a little stencil in here that gives some shape to your little place. For me, the Cool the Queens does. That's fine. You can also choose to have an aquarium or no aquarium. But me personally, I like to have my aquarium. Now, keep in mind, if you don't have your aquarium, that's okay. You got more original based. Now, to me personally, whereas these are pretty to look at, I like the idea of having extra room for my captive fish. And that's where this comes into play. Don't mind him. This is the fish tank they give you by default. But adding this gives you more space for fish. And as someone that's a collector, as like I am, they'll appreciate the finer things in life, that is, having extra space for your collection. Okay, I know you see all of these over here. These work just like your clan, where if you have the decoration on you already, then you can just put them out through doing so. Go equipment, orbiter, decorate, and voila. You'll tend to have your own list of things that you have. In fact, I have to put more out, but I'm gonna do that all later. Maybe, I don't know. And for example, I'm going to pick a spot in here. Now typically this is what I like to call your room. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this Dashing Through the Velas display. I'm going to pick a wall for it. I think I like it over here. So it's twisted around, no worries. Just like the same way of controls as before. I had somehow messed it up. I didn't even think that was possible. No worries. Because once again, we can just move a decoration over some. There we are. And now back to it. You typically want to make sure these are pushed out. Perfect. That's all I'm going to do, just for demonstration's sake. Okay, one of the other rooms. This is what you'll find out later as your operator. Oops, sorry. This is actually your operator. It's a kid. It's a little kid, to say the least. Yeah, I know you weren't expecting that. You can even customize their voice.
My Warframe is ahead. Not.
The load countdown. My Warframe ahead, and I will.
All right. Let's get to work. We will bring her to Tenno.
So as you can see, you can also choose how their physical appearances are, as well as their clothing and style. For me, I have chosen something very fun. Just because, well, it's fun. See, but because I don't play on my operator as much, I go to something else that's unlockable after what, again, I am saying is the new war. The Drifter. Personally, they're a much better character. There's a lot more customizability that tends to be around for them. Just their default alone is captivating. But I'm going to stick with the Drifter HUD as I have. They're all customizable, just like everything else you might get. Just about everything in this game that you'll encounter that has a customizability range at least has a primary, secondary, and tertiary thing to go about. Anytime, depending where you are in the storyline, you can switch to your Drifter operator at any time and just walk about with them. Just know they are pretty slow. Whereas your Warframe can be set to just about any speed. Again, depending on the right mods. The last, pardon me, second to last. So you can change how your loadouts are for when you make specters. You can give them their own little loadouts. You can have them copy your arsenal. Okay, really just your melee. Everything else is customizable in the sense it can be either shown or not shown when it's holstered. But your melee is unique because of one specific thing. You can customize the actual offhand rotation. What? I know, it's crazy. Just hear me out on this one. So look how crazy this is. Never thought you'd see such a thing, right? So I'm gonna leave it like that because honestly, that's pretty nice. Not gonna lie to you. Have it kind of floating a little bit too to kind of match our style. As for the X offset, I'm gonna definitely leave that alone. So as you can see, the holster style to everything gets pretty fucking crazy. And better yet, you can attach little mini knobs to some of your weapons. Mainly just your melee. So I'm gonna give her this little chain style looking ribbon because I think it looks nice. So with that, that's all I can give you for now. Oh, wait. One more thing. So there is a slight downside. Your pets, you know, your Kubro or Cavette, mind you. While they do have their own patterns, it is slightly unfortunate because there are only so many colors you can give them. Mind you, half of these have actually been unlocked. If not, all of them have been unlocked to a certain extent. I don't remember how I unlocked them, and I probably never will. Rest assured, one thing I can tell you is, I love it. So I started missing my little worm, so we'll go back to it. But with that, because I really don't think I'm missing anything else, unless I am, people can correct me in the comments if you're a Warframe player and, you know, you're more adept to this than I am. I really do genuinely think that's all for this time. Oh. I did forget one thing, though, that I was going to tell you, but then I completely forgot about it, and now I almost forgot about it again, but I'm just... You know what? Let me just show you. So, this thing... This is not customizable in the way you might think. This is more customizable in how optional it is. So, all of these planets are very different. You know, you have your standard ones that we know and love very well in the real world. Earth, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, etc. But there are some ones that are out of the blue. So your dojo, for example, is not necessarily a planet, but it's really what you have unlocked. And it's great to see it there because these are feature dojos in case you don't have your own dojo and you want to see about joining another clan. You can go ahead and go visit other clans and see if you really like one. That's all for your choosing. But that's not what I wanted to tell you about. The thing about each one is you can see how each and every single mission is level based to a point. Don't worry about him. He's a lich. He's just annoying. You can take him on if you have one. Yeah, they all have their own little missions, their own things that they do, and they get pretty crazy. That's something that's you don't have to worry about until like much later in the game. So don't worry about that. These are actually the kinds of missions that will help you to take him on. But again, getting off topic, that's not what we're about for this episode. What I really want to just tell you is actually much more simpler than that. So honestly, it's a good thing I went over that, because that brings over the topic of difficulty. So all I'm saying is, this whole entire game is customizable to your experience and how you want it. Now, I'd say that's really fucking impressive for a game that's completely and entirely free. And not only that, but everything in the game is practically free to get. It's just about how you go to get it. There are certain things that you need to be smarter about getting them. So anyway, that's officially going to be it for this time, guys. I'm sorry if this video got lengthy, but there is just so much you can do, so much you can customize, and it gets fucking crazy what you can do. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like if you have enjoyed. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to comment below what you thought your favorite part of this video was. Why do I have a companion for a wolf Warframe? Pardon me, that was way off topic. Once again, without further ado, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you want more content like this, please comment down below and let me know. I would actually be interested to show off more of this game for your wall and everything that it has to offer and so on and so forth. My god, my recording time is starting to get long now. So, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want more content like this. Share to your friends. Always remember to share to your friends that you think would appreciate Warframe. And also, let them know that if you or anyone else you know plays Warframe themselves, it's best to squad up, and they might, who knows? They might even be able to teach them something. I might be able to teach them something. If you want my gamer tag. It depends what you want to do, where you want to go. This game in itself, I like to say, is completely and entirely customizable. Now, again, I'm getting too long with this. Like, comment, subscribe, definitely share. As always, I will see you all in the next video. Remember to stay on the airlines, Junior pilots!